Hello everybody and welcome back to Math Merit. Today we are going to move on into concept number 8, which is on measure of central tendencies and dispersion. But today we're just going to learn what the measure of central tendencies means. Okay? So for today specifically, notes are extremely important. There will be a lot on the board, so please make sure you're taking notes of everything that is on the board. Okay? Now, let's get started. Have you ever heard of mean, median, and mode in math terms? Well, the mean, median, and mode are what measure of central tendencies means. Okay? Now, what the mean is the mean is referred to as the average. How do you get the average? You get it like this. The mean equals the sum of the data given to us divided by the total number of data values. For example, here we have our data. There were 6 games that were played. See, game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4, game 5, game 6. Here are the points that were scored by one team during those 6 games. Okay, what if I asked you to find the mean? If I ask you to find the mean, first you're going to get the sum of the data. So our data is the points. Okay, so you're going to add 7 plus 6, that is 13, plus 6, that is 19, plus 5, that is 24, plus 7, that is 31, plus 2, that is 33. So we're going to get the sum of the data, which is 33. And we're going to divide that by the total number of data values. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers with values, okay? So we're going to divide 33 by 6. Now 6 goes into 33. Now off the top of my head, I know 6 goes into 35 times. There are 3. I want to say it is about 3.5. Around there. Okay? That would be the mean. So the average of points they scored during the 6 games was 5.5 points on average. Okay? Now let's go on to see what mode means. Next up, we're going to learn about the median, not the mode. Anyways, the median is the middle value in a data set. Okay, now let's see what our median would be with our example. Same example, we have 6 values. Okay, there's not really a middle here. We have 3 over here and 3 over here. But our 2 middle ones are 6 and 5. So what we would do in this case, where we have an even number of values, we would take our 2 middle numbers, which is 6 and 5, and get the mean, which means we're going to sum 6 and 5, which is 11, and divide it by 2, because we're dealing with 2 numbers only. So 2 goes into 11 5.5 times. Funny, right? That is our median. Just like our mean. Just like our mean, that is our median. And it is a, what's that word? Coincidence. There we go. Now, what if instead of 6 sets of games, we had data for 7? And say in the 7th game they just scored 3. Okay, then in that case, we would find our middle number, middle term. So 2, 3, 4. Our median in that case would just be 5. But no, we are dealing with 6. So we do that instead. We find the mean of the two middle numbers. Okay? Now let's move on to the mode. Now, for mode, it is the data that occurs the most. So pretty much the number that you will see most often. For example, same example, not moving anything. We got 7 for our first game, 6, and 6 for our second and third, 5 for our fourth game, 7 for our fifth game, and 2 for our sixth game. Okay. Pretty much there are 2 possible modes. 7, because we see it twice, and 6, because we see it twice. Now, what if we had 3 7s instead of 2 7s and 2 6s? What if that seventh game they scored another 7? Then our mode would be 7. But in this case, since we have 2 numbers that appear more than once and they appear the same amount, our mode are 2. Now, in any problem, there can be no mode, which means that each data that appeared only appeared once and one time only, so there is no mode. There could have one mode where only one number was repeated, or there is only one number that was repeated, or there can be more than one, which is our case here, where it's 7 and it's 6. Okay? Now let's go on into an example that I'm going to give you just the data. I want you to identify the mean, the median, and the mode for that. Let's get to it. Very well. Very similar example as to the one we just did, but our points change, so our data change, so our mean, median, and mode are going to be different. I want you to identify those for me. If you have any questions on how to do this, please don't hesitate and ask. I'm here to help. Please make sure you took notes very thoroughly today. Again, if you need help, just ask me, and I hope to be hearing back from everyone very, very soon, and I hope you all have a very wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.